ways in which Hinduism gets to this. It's called Jnana Yoga, meditation. There's no greater thing to give you peace of mind in this world than meditation. This is a Hindu masters. He talked about guru. You know why Hindus have guru? Hindus have guru because guru unraveled the truth. If I tell him from the Upanishad, which I'm sure he has not even read, they call Tat Tvamasi, that thou art. You think you can understand this? That thou art, you can't understand. This has to be explained to you by a master who knows this. And the master explains and teaches you to tell you that thou art. Who art thou? Thou art God. The God is living within you. Because Hindus, they ask Hindus, where is your God? Is your God in heaven? No, the God is not in heaven. The God is within you. And what is this body of yours? This body is only a clothing for the God that is within you. God, he mentioned that God is Hindu called God Brahman. In Hinduism, God is consciousness. If you ever listen to Deepak Chopra and somebody else, great Dyer, he talks of God and consciousness. God is all consciousness. The consciousness that is within you, the consciousness that is within the animals, the consciousness within the plants, and even consciousness within even the inert objects, there's some consciousness. And that consciousness pervades all. Who is this God? In Hinduism, God is an order. An order that tells the sun to rise up in the east. You think there can be 40 gods? If there are 40 gods, there's a Christian God, and there's a Hindu God, and a Muslim God, and they are fighting one another. One day, one will say the sun must come from the east. The next day, the sun must come from the north. No, God is an order. God in Hinduism, God is harmony. Harmony of the season. And in Hinduism, eco-friendly. In Hindus, we said, do not trouble the trees. Do not trouble the insects. Do not trouble the plant life. Because if you do this, then what will happen? Global warming and all its consequences will come to each and every one of us. So Hinduism teaches us that Jnana Yoga, meditation, which has been given by the Hindu masters, that meditation, by sitting down, you can calm your mind. Because when your mind, you know what makes us sad, and what makes us angry, and what makes us happy, and what makes us melancholic, is nothing else but our mind. You think about it. When you are under anesthesia, when you are in deep sleep, man is happiest then, because what? His mind is not working. As soon as he gets up, his mind starts working. And when his mind starts working, he thinks about every single thing. He thinks about his wife, his children. His wife did not... He asks his wife, what's happening? What is wrong? She says, nothing. Once he says nothing, he knows something is wrong. So, and then his mind starts to work over time. What is wrong with this lady? And she goes back, honey, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. And he knows. So, and this is what the Hindu says, calm the mind. The mind can only be calmed by meditation. You know what meditation can do today? Meditation reverses coronary artery disease. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor that deals with these diseases. And Dean Ornish, there's a book by Dean Ornish called The Heart. And you will be surprised to know that in that text, it says that meditation, vegetarianism, a 15% fat diet and exercise has reverted coronary artery disease. And has been shown and proven angiographically. Angiographically is when they inject a dye into your arteries and you can see the arteries. He has shown that angiographically where this has been so. And this is called from the Hindu masters, where they teach about meditation and sitting down and calming the mind. You know why so many of us go to the doctors? Why doctors make so much money and our health bill is so overrun? Anxiety neurosis. And one of the antidote to anxiety neurosis is what? Is meditation and what is known as mantra japam. Take the mantra and do jap with it. Jap means meditation. Like what, you know, you call it rosary, we call it mala. We knew it about thousands of years ago. You guys knew it the other day only as rosary. And so, I wouldn't have said these things, but I have to retaliate a little bit to put a little spice into the matter. You talked about karma. Hindus believe in karma. You know, and says how it is senseless. Now, if I say, where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise, then you might think that I'm being rude. But what I'm trying to say is that karma explains everything that happens in a person's life. When a child is born with a congenital heart disease, his brother is born perfectly healthy. One child is born in the gutters of Calcutta, according to him, and one child is born in the palace of Queen Elizabeth. Never mind, she's having a trouble with her children by themselves. That's a different matter. That's her own karma. So he's born there. What determines that birth, you think? What determines that birth? That birth is determined by the karma. The karma puts the embryo in, or the soul, we call it, the Atman, the soul in the mother's womb. Not only put the soul in the mother's womb, but the soul carries the genes. And that is all determined by karma. You cannot get away from karma. Karma is used even today by all the Western gurus today. Even Wayne Gretzky talked about karma. What about you and I? And he talked about that his karma is such that he could play such good hockey. And maybe that is so. One guy is so brilliant, another guy is not so brilliant. Why? Because of the past work that you have done. And talking about reincarnation, there are multiple proofs about reincarnation. And if you believe in psychiatry, and you go to retrogression, and there's lots of text about this, and you can go to psychiatrists and hypnotists and find out about this. They can revert you back to your previous life and tell you what your previous life is. This is scientific. So this is, Hinduism isn't a hocus pocus alamagocus religion. It's a scientific religion. And when you talk about gurus, these gurus can explain, but not everybody. There are false gurus, like how there are false priests. There are false priests, there are false gurus, there are false everybody. But the real masters of the world, they can tell you about everything. You're talking about prophecy, which you would like to know how I can retaliate to prophecy. I wonder if the Bible had prophesied that 9/11 would have occurred. I wonder if the Bible had prophesied that the Iraq war would have occurred. The Bible prophesied about Jerusalem only. It was the only Jerusalem in the world. The world is a big, big place. Jerusalem is a little dot in the world. So prophecy is nothing to talk about. In India, every little man in the street can prophesy to you. They call them astrologers. In Canada here, for example, in Toronto here, there are about 2,000 astrologers. You go to them, you pay them a big buck, and they tell you all sorts of lies. You know what they tell you lies? They tell you things that you want to hear. They never tell you things that you don't want to hear. So prophecy is all over the place. So prophecy is something, in our text, we don't have time to deal with that. We talk about philosophy. We talk about how you must live in this world. We talk about how you must find the God that is within you. And the God that is within you is the God within the other person. You know the text called Vedas? The Vedas is a very difficult book because it is written in a language called Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is a language, it is the first language, and it is the mother of all languages. Man, the word man, for example, in English, comes from Sanskrit word from mano, meaning man. So many words come from Sanskrit. The Vedas are written in Sanskrit, and not many people can understand Sanskrit. But if you go to the villages of India, the people have compassion. And you know why they have compassion? Because the God that is within them, they see that God within the other person. They see that God within you, and that is what they teach. This is what our religion teaches us. The God that is within me is within you. And that God, and you know why Christianity you know how big Christianity is in India? You go to Kerala, you see some huge churches, and you see some images of Jesus Christ 40 feet high. Although they don't believe in images. They're 40 feet high. And there, when St. Thomas went there, and St. Thomas, his ship was shipwrecked. You know, the Pope went and paid homage to where St. Thomas was buried. When St. Thomas came to India, he started telling people about Jesus Christ. Because we have 33 million gods, it's not 33 million gods we have 330 million gods. 330 million gods. When he come and talk to them about Jesus Christ, they say, oh, he's another God, okay, they take him. They accept him. They are so accepting. Because Hinduism teaches you that you must be accepting in life. You must be accepting of others' faults. It's a beautiful religion it is. It is not talking about paganism and idolatry. The idol in Hinduism is just used as a focus. as a focal point, a point for you to put your concentration upon. Because our minds are so extroverted, we cannot concentrate unless there's a focal point in front of us until, you know what, you don't have to do it all the time. When your mind has developed to that extent,